Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day after our little diversion with Doomsday Clock yesterday. I hope you enjoyed it. I kind of want to do more videos like that. I've had one idea for a certain Tom King event from the past years, but I can't seem to get around to writing it. And due to the argument I was having online with this other troll, I basically had written out everything for what I wanted to say for that video over the course of 2 days or so, and had monologued it a couple times during my 4-mile walk with the dog in the morning. But today we return to Superman number 8 and the final story in Superman number 8, Parrone and the Drug Gang. This will be a fairly quick one because it's a drug cartel story. It's basically like the mobs and mob racketeering stories, but even less seems to happen in this comic, and none of it is particularly very interesting. There is a gang going around robbing places of mostly morphine and other drugs, and they're pretty ridiculously violent. They are like gunning down cars in the middle of the streets and just shooting everywhere by drive-bys, which is pretty fragrant when you exist in a city with a bulletproof godman who's going to eventually get around to you. And he does, and sort of stops a lot of this after it happens. And that's kind of like the first third of the comic. It's just him kind of stopping several just big shootouts happening. Eventually, he's on a date with Lois because he's going to be having one or two things after work, and that's being home, being Superman, or being on a date with Lois, even though they're not actually dating or in some sort of relationship. Maybe they're dating. They never define this. While on the date with Lois, he sees a bunch of toughs go into a warehouse. He puts two and two together. He goes in as Superman, bright blue costume, red cape, you know, Superman. And he puts a stop to the gang and their leader, Parrone, as they're trying to rob it. They're easily captured because Superman went and got Sergeant Casey, you know, Sergeant Casey, the recurring police officer who's essentially after Superman, sort of. He was created to be a foil, but he doesn't do much foiling. He's just kind of like a nuisance every so often. Other times he's just kind of there because he's the only police officer who has a name and is recurring. Like, I don't even remember who the commissioner is anymore, and I'm pretty sure that he's appeared twice, if it was the same commissioner either time. You know how this city seems to go through DAs. This should have been enough evidence to put them away, but it turns out that Parrone has paid off most of the regulatory committee, and they all get off scot-free, which really annoys Superman. But don't worry, they're going to commit more crimes. In fact, the second in command of Parrone's gang, Nate Grant, is getting a little too paranoid about what happened with the capture, so he confronts Parrone at a restaurant. So Parrone goes out and murders Nate Grant outside in broad daylight. Not exactly in front of anybody, but in front of someone who is watching him. I mean, how are you not careful when you know Superman is watching you? So Superman shows right up, throws Parrone and I believe his lawyer into a truck and clamps down on it. So when police arrive, they find him and the dead body. It's actually kind of sad that Superman didn't arrive in time to save that guy. Did he let him die? That is horrifying, especially for Superman. And they're put away, and that's basically the story. There's not a lot to even talk about. It spends a third with the robberies, just kind of a constant thing. Another third with the trial, and the final third with this sort of murder being locked up. And remember, this is a 14-page story, so when I say a third, it's probably between 4 to 5 pages per third. So it's not a lot to actually get through, instead of like some of these other better stories where there's an actual plot and a singular focus Superman is dealing with, instead of just this, this, and this. It's also not by Jack Burnley, who I am infinitely missing now that he's not seemingly on the books as much as before. Okay, so that is finally it for Superman number 8. It's been over 2 weeks. We're getting back into the pattern. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is now Bat Friday, where I cover either a Batman issue, specifically one story in a Batman issue like I did here with Superman number 8, or a Batman story in Detective Comics. And until next time, let us ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? Also, did Superman let that guy get murdered? Have a great day.